Hey everybody, Sam Kavaris in the Nimnik Sports Update. I wanted to wait and let things settle with the Tim Tebow trade before I kind of weighed in on a lot of the things here on the website and on Facebook. You know, it's all done, it's all taken care of. If you watched any of our coverage on Twitter, on Facebook, or on Channel 4, we followed it almost exactly as it happened, as confirmed by both Shad Khan and Tim Tebow and his people yesterday at the press conference and also in Palm Beach. I think the important thing to know is two things. As a Jaguar fan, you should hope that Tim was getting good advice from the people around him, because he seemed to think that the Jaguar coaches didn't want him. Well, that certainly was a public perception. But Mike Mularkey was very specific last Thursday in that Meet the Coaches event that he would not have gone after a player that he didn't want, regardless of what the owner wanted to do. And remember, this is a guy that resigned from the head coaching job in Buffalo when the thing got sideways on him and they brought in Marv Levy and the things didn't go the way he wanted. He left knowing specifically that he may never get an NFL head coaching job again. So last Thursday he confirmed that the Jaguars were going to do that. Yesterday, Shad Khan talked to several local media outlets down at the Palm Beach, at the Breakers, where the NFL meetings are, and he put out the timeline exactly as we reported. But he also threw in that the Jaguars actually made a higher monetary offer to the Jets, and that their draft pick was actually higher as well, because it was 7 to 17 picks in front of the Jets in the fourth round. And so the question obviously was asked, why not then offer a third rounder? He said, well, wait a minute. We gave Tebow and the Broncos more than what the Jets were offering, and Tim picked New York. Very good. Once that happens, why would you want to put a player in a situation where that he doesn't want to be? It was obvious he would rather be in New York. You know, you also have to remember that, you know, the opportunities for Tim, and particularly for his agent, are much more lucrative in New York than they are in Jacksonville. And when you look at what his agent and his ties are to the Jets, and the money that his agent would be able to generate through endorsements and so forth, maybe that's where he got the bulk of his advice. But the Jaguars wanted him, and he picked New York. And Khan says, great, now it's time for all of us to move on. And he's probably 100% right when it comes to that. Would have been great to have him here, but he didn't want to be here. And that's, I think, the key thing when you really look at it. The media circus in New York continues. Press conference on Monday with 100 media members and 40 cameras. I mean, they barely get that when the Pope shows up. So, nonetheless, in addition to that, Florida gets beat up by 11 with 8 minutes to play, 18-3 run at the end of the game for Louisville, and they eliminate Florida. That competitive immaturity that Billy talked about a couple of times really, I thought, showed itself at the end. Louisville changed their defense to man-to-man. Florida needed to drive to the basket and run the pick and roll and hit the guy in the post, and instead they settled for jump shots and three-pointers. And when you do that, the other team can get on a run, and that's exactly what happened. So, phenomenal run for Billy, all the way to the Elite Eight. And Bradley Beal will probably go pro, but they've got some freshmen coming in and everybody else coming back, save for Irving Walker. So this team is primed once again to make a deep run into the tournament next year, because you hope that that competitive immaturity is finally going to go away with a very young group of guys when they return. I'm Sam Kavaris. That's the Nimnik Sports Update.